Hi everyone, welcome to your holiday alchemy scope. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency. Let's take a look at the stories playing out now. Hi everyone. So let's take a look at the macro cycle, the energy set, or the story that's imbuing the field for all of us at this time. The new moon in Sagittarius occurred on December 11th, and it occurred at 19 degrees Sagittarius. The Sabian symbol that is aligned with that degree point is, in an old-fashioned northern village, men cut the ice of a frozen pond for use during the summer. I love this symbol because for me what this is talking about is preparation. It's an optimistic view and a preparation for the future ahead, brighter days ahead. Now, if we move on to the Christmas full moon, I added that to this scope because I'm posting these late. It's a fascinating one. It's very appropriate for the astrological events that are aligned. A cat arguing with a mouse is going to be the Sabian symbol that is imbued at the full moon point of 3 degrees Cancer on Christmas Day. And interestingly, there is an opposition on Christmas Day between Mars in Libra, which is relationships, and Uranus in Aries, which is I, me, mine. So this is going to be an interesting dynamic between action of harmony in relationships and the sudden impetus for action of the self. And a lot of people are gathering with family over the course of this holiday season, and particularly on this day. So let's hold it all lightly and understand that there's a bigger cycle playing out, and there's a way to be responsible for our own thoughts and own actions as we navigate this dynamic, a cat arguing with a mouse Christmas Day. Gemini. So let's take a look at the microcycle for you over the course of this chapter of time. This is the energy set, the story, the energy that's imbuing this particular period. You received the I Ching hexagram number 22, Grace and Beauty. The two trigrams that make up this hexagram are mountain above, fire below. A sunset bathes the mountains in a soft radiance. The light of a full moon dances on the surface of a rippling river. Grace and beauty adorn the natural world. Grace brings artistic expression into the world and enhances the quality of life. In the arts, grace arises out of adherence to form. The dancer becomes the form of the dance, the musician giving life to the form of a musical score, the painter becoming one with the brush and canvas. In human affairs, grace is also aligned with form, with mastery of aesthetic and cultural forms, honed by time and honored by tradition. Through appreciation of graceful forms in human culture, we apprehend the pure beauty of the ideal, of life raised above a mere struggle for survival. The embodiment of grace brings dignity to situations. Be mindful to lend grace and dignity to small matters at this time, while giving the weight of deep and careful consideration to matters of greater consequence. Gemini, welcome to your holiday alchemy scope. So let's get right into it. I have already shuffled my cards. I'm using my Siri deck this month. And we're going to go ahead and do what we've done in the past and pull the Caroline Myss selection so that you can intuit which quality set is the one that wants to be most evolved in you during this cycle. And then we're going to pull a Colette Baron Reed Enchanted Map card. It's a new deck for me, absolutely resonant, very fabulous, love it. And that's going to be a combination of thematic story, but also guidance for you, okay? A note that I'm aware that the angle of this particular reading is not ideal for looking directly at the cards, but it was my intention and desire to actually just give this reading more atmosphere, calm, beautiful lighting. And yeah, so there's some music in the background, and I'll lift the cards up as I always do. So you'll see them. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what event, circumstance, or situation is likely to be coming forward for at least the majority of awakening Gemini-centric people at this time. Okay, Gemini. I'm going to turn these over. As you know, if you've watched before, you realize that the reversals are not real reversals. They're just providing additional bits of information for each section in the spread. So, Gemini, for you, and this is actually a reminder as well that I'm posting these late. This holiday scope is running between the Sagittarius December 11th new moon and the Capricorn new moon on the 9th of January. So this is being loaded late, but the next one, the January scope, will be up in a timely manner. So this will fill the gap there. So let's see. You know, it's interesting. I mean, it feels, Gemini, for a lot of you out there, you're going to be tapping into some good feelings from the past. You're going to be tapping into good times, like things that used to make you happy. Memories might be coming up with this. Very specifically, there's something with an old lover that's coming up. There's going to be memories is what I'm getting from an event, a relationship, a circumstance, a situation that you had with an old lover that was very healing, and it was probably very sexual as well. But you're going to be contemplating, Gemini. This person might live far away from where you are currently living. So there's going to be some contemplation happening for you during this holiday season, where you're going to be contemplating this person from the past. And the past card did come up. You know what it feels like? I have to tell you, it feels like this is actually, I mean, it is about good feelings. It is about that, but it's also about, it could be, Gemini, that you're evaluating your skills, how you were in the past. And by the way, this could be very like the logistics of being a good lover, like literally your skills at being a good lover and in being in relationship in a skillful way, in a way that was compassionate to both parties, to yourself and to the other person. But it's like you're going to be revisiting your skills from the past with regards to an old lover. So, and it's interesting because it feels like it's going to be very healing during this time frame. And this is the holidays. So many of you are going to be seeing people from the past as well. But it could be that you have a situation where you do see somebody. The visitation card didn't come up in this spread. So it's likely that there's going to be contemplation about past goodness with this lover. And that it's going to feel healing to you to bring up these memories of this person, of this lover. Feels, Gemini, like it's going to be a very feeling good, healing, delicious chapter. And what I was saying about the holidays is that because people are going to be connecting and gathering together, it could very well be that somebody's going to trigger your memory. Like you're going to see somebody during the holiday season, and it's going to bring up these feelings of the past. The past card came up in the emotional sector. So you're going to be experiencing good feelings from the past. But where you might have felt more skillful, you know, it's almost like you're going to be reminded about how you used to be in relationships and how it used to feel good. It used to be freer, easier, more in least effort, not as burdened, not as much luggage, not as much baggage holding you down. This is good. It feels like it's going to remind you, it's going to refresh you. It is going to, in fact, be a portal, a chapter, a temporary time where you move through a healing period. This period will be a healing chapter. And it could be Gemini, for some of you, that there's a new lover that comes on the scene that reminds you of a past lover, that reminds you of somebody that you were in a healthy relationship with in the past. So for some of you, it could be a new lover reminding you of this past goodness. I mean, it's interesting because the waiting card came up. Could be that you're going to see this person. Maybe you've been thinking about this person and you're thinking, I want that kind of experience. I want that kind of relationship. I want that kind of lover again. But you feel like it's not coming. You're waiting for it. It's not yet arrived. So there's contemplation, Gemini, that some of you are going to be having about this beautiful memory, these beautiful thoughts. This came up in the mental sector. So you're going to have beautiful, good thoughts about the past relationship, this past lover. For some of you too, this could very well be that it's very much a sexual experience. There are a lot of charged energies during this time frame, astrologically, over the Christmas period. And I could see how it could be very highly sexually charged. So it could be literally that you are, you're having erotic feelings and you're kind of naturally connecting to the lover within. And you're wanting to experience that again. Beautiful, Gemini. So we'll get more information from the cards. Let's go ahead and look at those. But again, Gemini too, somebody from far away. You live far away from them now. This is somebody that you used to know or that you had a relationship with. Maybe you traveled there, or maybe they moved, or you moved. So let's go ahead and pull 3 Carolyn Miss archetype cards, Gemini. And I'm going to have you tune in to one of them. And that one will be your message, your growth edge, your quality set that's asking to be matured during this cycle. That one wanted to peek out. So that will be card number 1, Gemini. Let's see what's supposed to come away at the bottom. There's card number 2. And Gemini, there's card number 3. Beautiful. So go ahead and start tuning in. And let's go ahead and pull your Enchanted Map card. And again, this is Colette Baron Reed. And she does work, by the way. These cards very much work in reversals. Ooh. Well, that one just popped out there. Details is coming. I'm going to read it here. So this is number 43, Gemini. Details. This is about attending to details with some aspect of your life right now. And the year is completing. 2015 already is at an end. So many projects, many threads of life, logistics of life might be calling to be wound up. But again, we're looking at that, the growth edge, the circumstance or situation that's likely to be coming up for you during this cycle. So it could be linked to that. This past relationship might have details that are asking to be uprooted and looked at and confronted and healed, or just revisited for your own healing, for your own joy. Beautiful. So let me read here, Gemini. So this came up upright for you. The card itself is talking about the most powerful patterns are created within the tiniest details. Pay attention. Upright. This is the time to be aware of the fine print in all areas of your life. Look at the details and leave the broad strokes for another time. When this card appears in a reading, it's a sign to finesse a project, make small but meaningful gestures, or, see, that's interesting. So make small gestures. That's coming up for me right now for you. Or add a personal touch to your correspondence. Okay? Be aware that what you need to know lies in the details. If you're entering into an agreement of any kind, pay attention to them before, not after, when it's too late. Clarity and transparency are key. You can gain great understanding by observing the minute body language, offhand remarks, and fleeting facial expressions that reveal the larger picture. This is about being very mindful, very attentive to people, to situations, to logistics. But if we are talking about a past relationship, a past love relationship, where it was joyful for you, it was a delicious experience for you, it was free, it was easy, it was least effort. What I'm really wanting to call to your attention with this card is that this is a time to actually, as you're in that contemplation mode, because keep in mind the contemplation card came up in the mental sector for you. This is a time to actually really contemplate. How were you then? What did you believe then? How were you free then? What was it that allowed you to be free, flowing, and happy during that relationship? Beautiful. Gorgeous. So Gemini, hopefully you've tuned into one of these cards. Let's go ahead and pull the far left. So if you pulled this card, Messiah is the growth edge. This is what's wanting to be matured through you during this cycle. And Gemini, this is talking about evolving out of exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And it's about evolving it into serving humanity with humility. So this is about greater service and the development of humility with it. That you're not the only one, but that you are important and necessary. It's a beautiful balance, that. So, Gemini, if you pick this second card, the middle card, interesting, athlete has come up recently. So let me read it here. Athlete, if you pick this card, this is about evolving away from misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends or a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. That's really the core here. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement, and evolving it into a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, the development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Beautiful. Moving away from a false sense of invulnerability and moving into a strong, authentic, strong willpower. Now, if you pick the third card, you get Priest. And this is asking to move out of violating the trust of your spiritual community and being seduced by your own spiritual role, and moving it into facilitating spiritual commitments, serving as a channel of spiritual energy. Again, like with all of these cards, this is about moving from an imbalanced sense of self into an integral and a holistic, true, authentic, with integrity sense of self. Being with integrity. Beautiful. All right, Gemini. So let's move on to your Dakini and see what's coming up for you there. Gemini. So we move now to the final component of your alchemy scope. And I pull up here the Dakini Goddess to reflect the embodiment that would be optimal for you to flow through this next cycle with ease and maximal flow. You received number 42, Mercura Reflectiva. This is from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle. Mercura is liquid. She has the alchemical power of fire and is metal, connected to the earth element. So Gemini, I'm going to read two components here from Penny Slinger's write-up for Mercura Reflectiva. The first is the transmission, and the second is the affirmation. The transmission for you is this: my reflectivity is fluid, ever-changing, with the smallest ripple in the field. Know that you can shift and morph. You are not a fixed element, but an agent of change. The affirmation, Gemini, is this: I am able to self-reflect and so be a clear reflection for others. I am the bearer of messages. I can positively affect any situation. Gemini, I wish you a wonderful holiday. Look for more from me very soon. And until then, sending love. Bye.